Greasefang versus Shanton. Yeah. Absolutely, yes. We will shock a lot here, but let's get a Greasefang going early on. The Gaze. Oh, wow. Well, I'll take... Let's take a Supplier, fine. Not really ideal here, what I found. Alright, that's pretty cool. That was almost the best draw I could have had. But let's just go for an attack. And go for a Gaze, another Gaze. Opponent is on double white. And hasn't made a play yet, so I'm wondering what's going on over there. I don't want to mend, because I don't have anything useful to discard, so the Gaze is better here. Okay, the Restoration... Honestly, I don't mind that too much. I don't want to use my Stubborn Denial for that. So, still not really finding what I need here. I'll go for the... I'll take the land. And then there's a Prankster following up. So there's still nothing here for my Greasefang to get back. So... Still setting up here. Slow. This is a little slow. That's the feeling you get though when you surveil. Because you don't draw into the card, you just put it on your library, so you still have to wait until it's your turn until you draw into it, etc. So this is good. This is actually ramp, which is do I want a Faithful Mend here? I do not. I'm just gonna draw into my Prankster and pass the turn again. An Emperor is a... do I even need to counter that? No. I'll only counter things that disrupt my Greasefang.
And I will protect my people. Keep watch for intruders.
And the opponent is starting to amass a board, starting to amass
we must protect
lands, so I really need to hit something soon. So this Prankster's gonna have to do a decent job here. So here goes. Still didn't find anything good. But another Prankster, which I can go for. At least an Oculus. But no vehicle. No, not vehicles. Yeah, vehicles. So let's get back the Oculus. Now my Stubborn Denial is online. Play a tapped land. Pass the turn. And let's see. They were gonna do. Do I want to counter now? I feel like I do at this point. So I'll at least get a manifest out of this. Doesn't really matter, both lands. Because now they don't want to sweep, really. They don't want to sweep that much because they built themselves a board. Sure.
Remember your
Chump block with my supplier. No, yeah, I'm not even gonna go for the block with the Oculus. The Oculus flying is very relevant here. All right, more announcements. Alright, there's a thingy-majiggy. Now the problem is they can probably easily kill Greasefang. So let's cycle this end of turn maybe. Let's attack with the Oculus first. Now that's annoying. Okay.
Anyone who harms my people must contend with me. You are not much of a roadblock.
So...
Strike fast and strike
One
hard.
has 2 cards left in hand. Before blockers. X equals, unfortunately, only 2, but well, so be it. Chump block, chump block. Alright, there we go. Now I have stubborn denial as well. Crew 4. This crew's for 3. But let's still do this. Use the Greasefang. I'm not intending to block the Greasefang. Let's go face. Alright, now the question is, can they kill me here? In their next turn. Otherwise, I might be looking to kill them. Well, I can't use this mana effectively to do anything, so there's no point floating it. Alright, I haven't done any math yet, but I can block 3 things. Sure.
Remember your training.
Alright, here comes the big attack. Alright, so I need to block with a lot of... So, pass to blockers. Block the biggest thing, block the second biggest thing, and block the third biggest thing. I'm not sure if I'm dead yet, but this is the best I can do. I don't think I'm dead though. And now the opponent has 3 cards left in hand. A Bank Buster, sure. Another announcement, yep. I can gaze for free here. Alright, so now I have more Parhelions in the battle, in the graveyard. So, what do we do here? We shall go for a... just go to the attack phase, right? Yeah. Just go to the attack phase. Make Greasefang. Have Greasefang do his thing. Opponent is drawing here, yeah, before the combat phase. Here's the combat phase. Alright, get lost. Stubborn Denial. Do they have another get lost? That's the question. They do not. So, Stubborn Denial winning the game here. Did I cast an earlier Stubborn Denial? I think I did, and I used it for get lost as well. So yeah, despite the opponent having a super big board, and I was gonna die next turn, but the first attack with the angels put the opponent down to 10, and then the next attack would be lethal. So yeah, that took a little bit of strategizing, a little bit of planning, but in the end, Esper Greasefang emerging victoriously versus mono white token control. Esper Greasefang versus Collector Legolas. So, the Edge of Eternities, I do feel like it kind of shook up Pioneer in too much yet, at least. Now, somewhere down the line, maybe there will be some new form of deck, but currently the meta seems to be pretty much what it was before, at least on Best of One Arena, which is fine by me. I mean, Pioneer is obviously a more long-term, consistent, let's say, meta by now. Standard is pretty shaken up, and it's pretty interesting at the moment and pretty diverse. But that doesn't stop me from playing Pioneer once in a while. That's my second played format, most played format. So let's go. So this hand is mediocre. However, this can cycle itself at 3 mana. So once I find my third land, I can get this in the graveyard and then use it to consistently get it back with Greasefang, which is pretty good. I have a Prankster, so I have something to do on turn 2. But however, Prankster will not help me in finding lands. The Oculus, maybe I can discard it. We shall see. And the opponent is red. So this is probably okay. Yeah, the most hated plotting on turn 2. Okay, I'm Recommission. Alright, so let's see what the Picklock Prankster can hit. Unfortunately, 2 Oculuses in my hand. I wish I could find one to get into the graveyard, because I really need to Against mono red, I really need to get a Greasefang or an Oculus going on turn 3. So this is already hurting a chunk. I'm already at 7, so unless I find something here, I'm pretty much dead. And even if I do... Okay, Faithful Mending. Yeah, that's not gonna be enough, but let's do it anyway. Draw 2. Alright, I found a shrine. I can get my Oculus into the graveyard and Greasefang, so I can still play this tapped. And hope that the opponent doesn't have a singular pump spell in their hand, which I highly doubt. So they're already dealing 1, 2, 3, and then if they pump, it's way more, so it's already lethal. Alright, GG. Yeah. Nothing you can do here sometimes. Versus mono red, you do need the perfect lineup. So maybe I should have mulliganed, but you never know in hindsight or in pre-sight. But you know, guys, you guys know. Let me know in the comments what I should have done. All right, on to the next game. Esper, Greasefang versus the Fervent Solos, 963. I'll keep. I have the Mending, so both these Parhelions will be in the grave. So I have some things to do. Let's kick it off with the Supplier. I would have liked one of those lands, but okay. Okay, here comes red again. Okay. Oh, a recommission, but nothing to recommit. Okay, so let's attack. No, let's not attack, actually. Let us not attack. And now I don't think I want to mend, I want to gaze, because if I draw into an Oculus, I would prefer to Faithful Mend that into the graveyard for future recommissioning. So despite being a little mana inefficient here, I would prefer to gaze at this point. So actually no attack, because they might haste. They might have a Monastery Swift Spear that I would prefer to just use my Supplier to block. Any little bit of damage that I can stop, prevent, is going to be important here. I'm not sure what's going on over there on the opponent's side. Alright, there they are. And there's, okay, a Quarry Steel Cutter. Alright, so this is going to get out of hand very quickly. Okay, this goes in the graveyard. This I will draw into, and there we go. Do I need... I can now actually decide if I want to keep that recommission. Well, now I kept it on top and I'm going to manifest it away, so... But that's fine. I'll manifest this one even. Alright, so... Okay, Slick Shot show off as well. Into a Kamano. Alright, so that means no pump, no good attacks here. Oh, there's a Greasefang. However, I don't have the Parhelions in the graveyard yet, so let's just pass the turn. Keeping these on the defense here. Next turn is going to be my big swing. I hope they can't kill the Greasefang. I mean, there's ways where how they can. Castle Embereth. Oh, creatures you control get +1/+0. So, will Greasefang survive or not? That's going to decide the whole outcome of this game. I've done a pretty okay job at stalling here so far. Keeping the red aggressiveness in check. I will block with the Oculus. I don't mind throwing it under the bus. Or in this case, under the Slick Shot show off. Okay. So it's still gonna be a trade even. Discard both Parhelions. I'll flip this. And there's Parhelion causing instant concession there. So this time round, again versus a mono red deck, but this time things worked out much better. When the opponent had a little bit more of a slow start, the cutter, and not really kind of making the most out of it. And then I did have my early Oculus for defense, and then a mid-game, let's say, Greasefang to start closing out the game. All right, the good thing about the Greasefang plus the Parhelion is that the two attacking angels, they attack untapped and they have vigilance. So they are immediately attack and defense at the same time, which is very, very relevant. If they were attacking and tapped and attacking, then the opponent has a much better chance of a counter attack. But with them being vigilant, they are also prepared to defend your life. All right, on to the next game. Esper Greasefang. Esper Greasefang versus Psyker 777. Okay, yeah, this is keepable. I have the Mending to put the Oculus in the graveyard and the Can't Stay Away to get it back, and the Stubborn Denial to protect it. So that's could be good. Do I want to gaze on turn 1? Yeah. I do. The 2 damage I think is worth it almost, because I could also play this tapped, but honestly, wasting, just using the mana on turn 1 already proactively, I think is important. Yeah, go. taking the 2 here, even if the opponent has the Leyline of Resonance. So it's black, it's red base deck again. Sure. So Oculus in the graveyard, that was amazing. 2 more lands, drawing into 2 more lands, is that fine or is 1 enough? I think 1's enough, and it has to be the courtyard because that's black. Alright, good. Okay, so here we go. Going for the courtyard, very careful. Actually, if I hadn't gazed, I wouldn't have had the black here. So, but let's go. Turn 2 Oculus. That's what you need against those crazy red decks. Parhelion in the graveyard as well. And another Oculus in my hand, which I can hopefully cast soon. That's the best thing ever for them. Oh, does this have... No, okay, so they can't attack at least. So let's play this. Keep this back and pass the turn. Okay. They don't... Ooh, not pumping yet. So they're not being too aggressive. So should I gaze or should I mend? Wait a minute. Gaze. Don't need any more lands at this point. I'll take a Prankster. However, how much longer can I be doing this? 1 more land and I can use the Can't Stay Away, but the Oculus 5. Okay. This is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be close. There comes the. So this. Yep. So this is gonna hurt a lot. Wow. So this doesn't have double strike. This has, so this is 10 damage and this is 18 damage. So I have to block. Right. So I can draw 2 cards, but okay, so getting an Oculus back here is not gonna prevent me from dying, so there's... Oh, wait a minute. Depends. Because it'll manifest too, right? So... And play a Prankster for extra protection, and then I have this, so... Maybe. But chances are very slim. Do they have a pump spell here? If they do, this is immediately game over. Oh, they don't. Oh, they're all creatures. They are all creatures. That thing has doubled strike, right? So that's gonna deal 6. So I have to block like this. Yeah, I'll take one. Alright, let's go for another Oculus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just hanging in there on a thread, yeah. Okay. Alright, what can we do? I can't stay away, but there's nothing to get back. I need a Greasefang. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to just pass here again. So as soon as they draw a pump spell, well, not necessarily, depending. Also, it depends on trampling or not. There's the Greasefang. There's the Greasefang. The Ancestral Anger, okay. Let's have these things resolved first. Do I want to counter one of these Ancestral Angers? I think... Oh, that will give it trample, so let's counter that. Wait, which one is giving which trample? That one's giving that one trample, that one's giving that one trample. This doesn't have double strike, right? Nothing has double strike here anymore. Ah, okay. Then, unfortunately, no more chances here. The trample is just too much. Yeah, the trample was too much. Alright. Unfortunately a defeat. I mean, I stayed in this game long, already knowing it's any pump spell is gonna end it for me. And this one draws a card even, so that's even worse. But what won them the game, honestly, is Monstrous Rage. Why? Trample. Just because of trample. Otherwise, I could chump block for pretty long here. So, yeah, the trample is really what makes the difference. But okay, it's a loss. Nothing to deny here. So just keep playing and hoping for a better alignment of the cards next game. Esper, Greasefang versus Noxay. Alright, yep, got the 3 colors in the 2 lands. I have a Supplier, I have the Greasefang, I have a Mending to get the Oculus in the graveyard, and a Recommission. So, I have a plan. And the opponent, okay, then Elvish Mystic, alright. Alright, got the, Alright, we are getting there. A Bishop of Wings. So the opponent is Angels. Stay back. So what's the plan? I don't have a reanimation spell. I need a 3rd land. I already have this in the graveyard. So we just need a 3rd land. So Gaze or Mending? Let's go for Mending, because then worst case I can do the Oculus. There's a land, get rid of the Oculus, and just the Supplier, I think, yeah. Alright. So they could have something up their sleeve here, right? So I'm not gonna go for Greasefang directly. I'm gonna go for the Oculus first. They will probably go for Collected Company. I wish I had a Stubborn Denial here. Unfortunately, I can't have everything. I already have quite a decent kind of setup. So, all right. Yeah, here comes Collected Company. Sure. So I need to be quick here now. The next turn, I definitely have to go for Greasefang. There's no... I was afraid that they would... Yeah, exactly. The Skyclave Apparition. That's why I didn't Greasefang. So, that's exactly why I didn't Greasefang. So this ain't looking too good. That was the perfect thing to hit for them. How much life are they gonna gain? Oh, 4 life, and then if they just need to gain. Oh, they just need to gain 5 life, and then they're gonna start making the big ones. All right, just attacking in the air. Sure, okay. Passing the turn, maybe. And elves for sure, no problem. And a land. All right, let's gaze. Just to draw 2 cards is fine, but I'm gonna have to go for Greasefang here. Alright. Alright, so that puts me in a pretty good spot. I can mend. So can Greasefang survive, or do they have another apparition? I do have my 4/4 angels now ready. So now it's up to the opponent to make a play. They did their Collected Company already. Do they have Kayla's Reconstruction, or what that thing is called? Yes, they do. So pick the 3 best things you find. Fortunately, they aren't that good. I think that's game. I think that's game. Because I already have the another Parhelion in my graveyard, right? Yeah. Alright, so, whew! It was close, but I played kind of to my outs, right? I knew what was going on. I purposefully played the Oculus first, because I saw that they had 4 mana up. I was expecting some kind of interaction or removal. And in the case of the Angel deck, basically the Skyclave Apparition is the only thing they have. So I did indirectly expect that. And that's why. And that's why I played the Greasefang later. Obviously, they could have had another Apparition, but at that point, you know, you cannot play around everything. And I did get a little lucky that their reconstruction was not that great. They found a bishop and another elves, so they hit their 3 elves. So that's a little bit unfortunate from the opponent's perspective. So yeah, able to emerge victorious and go 3-2 today with Esper Greasefang, which is absolutely fine. In Pioneer, a lot of the decks are pretty strong. So yeah, let's head over to the recap. So, Esper Greasefang. The typical shell, not much changed. I'm just using the same version I played last time because it's already pretty much fleshed out. But let's go through it once more. I did categorize it a little bit here. So we have the 3 Stubborn Denials. You can run 4, but you usually just need the 1 in the right moment. But this is a little bit flexible. You can switch this around. You could have 1 extra one instead of the Tainted Indulgence, for example. So that's up to you. Then you have the things that put stuff in your graveyard. So that's the Gaze, which is also kind of smoothing out your upcoming draws. The Supplier, which straight up puts 3 things in the graveyard on entering, and then also potentially 3 more when it dies. And the Prankster mills 4 cards and then puts an instant or sorcery into your graveyard, of which you have quite a few. All of these here, this whole package. Then you have the things that you want to put into the graveyard, which is the Oculus. Greasefang, not really, but it's also doesn't hurt, so that's fine. And more importantly, the Parhelions or the Flagship. Whereas the Flagship can cycle itself into the graveyard as well, so that's also an option. Then you have the things to discard, so draw a discard. Mainly discard is the key here, because if you do have the Oculus or these vehicles in your hand, you want to discard them into your graveyard, and this is what this package is for. And then you have, so how do you get things back from the graveyard? Well, you have of course, the namesake of the deck, Greasefang, which will get back the vehicles. And you have the Recommission Can't Stay Away to get back either Greasefang or the Oculus. So it's a very synergetic deck. It digs, puts the key cards in the graveyard, gets the key card back either by reanimating the creature, or reanimating the creature, or directly playing the Greasefang, and then getting back the vehicles. So yeah, the strategies is by now is well known, but still very strong, because it's able to do an Oculus on turn 2, a Greasefang on turn 2, potentially even. If you Gaze and you hit Parhelion, put a Greasefang in the graveyard, and then on turn 2 you play untapped land and Can't Stay Away onto the Greasefang. So it has the opportunity of an insane turn 2 play. But usually it's turn 3, 4 where things really start to happen, because you do need to set up a little bit prior to that. But you do have a lot of draw, a lot of mill, a lot of cards to dig deep into your deck. So it is also pretty consistent. And then you have the Stubborn Denial, just your kind of to really counter the key card that the opponent would have to play to kind of interrupt your strategy or interrupt your kind of winning moment, because you do want to use Parhelion to end the game as quickly as possible before the opponent gets to set up or to interact with you too much. All right, so let's see what Greasefang's flavor text reads. It's hard to say which is more deadly, her bike or her bite. And on that note, thanks for watching, have fun, see you in the arena, and peace.